It's all Infused are going to fall back on now. They're just going to try to take the Tyrax Pugna. Time to bring in those 2 points and
It
Decrepify and
it got
make Lich
banned.
suffer.
It got
No,
banned last game.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they're going to pick it this game. I don't like they they saw that they couldn't win like a fair game again. I mean, they actually lost a fair game against Bravado Blue. How can they win a
10
fair game against
seconds
Bravado Emo? And they learned that
remaining.
last game. So it's time to pick a push strategy. I mean, I think that's got to be what's going on right now. Yeah, well, Witch
There we,
Doctor, obviously. Yep, no, there it is. I mean,
Nice.
it's either Jakiro or Pugna with this pick. I'm sure of it.
I think Pugna might come later, to be honest. I don't think they like to early pick Pugna.
yeah, because they have different variations on the push strat. Like sometimes they go the Shadow Shaman and the Venomancer. Pugna has featured in both of their push strats, but I mean we've also seen Tyrox willing to play Lone Druid in the mid lane, and that's similar strategy. Like just don't let him get a hero which can snowball, and team is really up to the task of being able to stop that.
Yeah, I guess they could take Veno now. That certainly would be viable. The issue is if they don't take Pugna here, it's just going to get banned.
Well,
Because
Bravado lost bandits in the previous game.
yeah,
It was fifth ban.
I think after the Witch Doctor though, they're more likely to ban it in their next two picks here, just because they've
Yeah.
seen they can beat Infused in an even game, so they're just not going to let Infused get that heavy push. And I mean, obviously, Lich is very high mana cost and a low life pool. Back for the Mirana, so
So that's one thing also that Infused always do is they never go like 5 push heroes. They always go like 4 pushy heroes and one traditional semi carry. Whether it's the Syllabae, which is a pushy hero in itself, or they go for the Mirana or the Razor. Like a solid hero of their own. So
I
what
like
did
that.
Bravado
No
go
flare.
for? They go for the tree lich.
Oh
Okay,
god.
so
Oh god.
moving on to game number 3.
yeah, but they have no
Oh
anti
my
push with
god.
those two heroes. I mean, that's still. I mean, like the tree is very good at keeping your towers alive after the opposing team is pushed, and Lich to some extent can protect the towers now with the armor. Although I think it's more or less insignificant against early pushes, which are highly damage based, or I mean spell damage based. But yeah, well,
The
the
bans
Pugna,
that come out.
yeah, Pugna and the Rasta. I mean, so they understand that they have no push, and they really just want to ban it because I think it's what Infused want to do. But I mean, yeah, Tree Lich is obviously a good combination for supports. It's just it does have that one
Hurry, just
weakness.
stop right there. Just stop right there. Tree lich. What did you just say about tree lich?
Good combination for supports.
Okay, but it's not a good combination. It's the best combination because everyone in BVD Blue will attest to the fact that Tree Lich means you win the game. Like we haven't seen a game in this tournament where Tree Lich has lost, and we won't see one ever because it is the greatest combination. You
Yeah,
got Tree and Lich. You got armor. Look at the armor. You got the regen. You got the frost. You got the slow. It's like tank deluxe.
yeah.
And Wazmak would he would be able to
Uh-oh.
tank no matter what else he had.
If only there weren't some way to deal with two supports, neither of which have any sort of disable, like an anti-mage or some sort of a farming lineup, which just wouldn't care that you can't actually gank them. Yeah, that would be shocking. Now, obviously, Infuse can't do that because
Note
they're going to
sarcasm. Sarcasm meter going up, guys. Just pointing it out. Sorry, do continue.
No,
Oh,
that was it. I mean, yeah, well, I mean, we saw now. I mean, they can't even pick anti-mage or something like that because Donnie plus Lich have crushed anti-mages before, and they'll do it again.
These guys are laughing so hard right now. Like, just wait.
No.
I think
That-
giggling maniacally would
Just-
be the term for it.
Jakiro, come on, Tyrox. Your Jakiro has kicked ass, man. I'm glad that you're picking this up again. And no flares, Marana means
That's true.
excellent Marana for Infused.
And they also got rid of the Tidehunter, which was a very pesky hero.
Yeah.
I mean, Scant got like the closest he's ever got to a rampage in a competitive game, playing as the Tidehunter. You got an ultra kill against it. Was it? It was
Oh.
one of their losers bracket game. No, it was the
No,
game
it was
they
the
won
winner
in the
bracket. It
winners
was
brackets.
Infused.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
against Infused,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He actually he should have gotten the rampage too, stolen by his teammate callously.
By Laka. Yeah.
Yeah. Lucker. Not surprising that he would do that.
We should probably have a quick shout out to everyone else, all the participants who've played in the tournaments and been knocked out. So big thank you to them.
Yeah.
For those tuning in game and have no idea what this is, they've just been told to join it with a friend, or they were in a lobby or a friend group and the one friend started spectating the live game. This is the Bravado Brawl. We're in game number 2 here. It's currently 1-0 to Bravado Emotion in the best of 5.
Can we have like just a warm message for all the deceased in the tournament? So Team Bronze, these guys, they went out in the second round of the lower bracket. They did win their first round though by putting Liberty down into the losers round one. We've also had, of course, Liberty, who lost both their games, sadly. The first one to Bronze and the second one to Bravado Blue. We had Bravado Blue, who lost their first match 2-1 to Infused, and they eventually went down to Ishigogo in the lower bracket second round. Then I've got to skip a couple of names now, so they're both in the grand finals. And Full Love International, they lost the last game against Bravado International in the lower bracket finals. They had an excellent tournament, other than that, by beating Bravado Emotion in the first round winners bracket. And then Ishigogo, they went down in losers round 3, and Energy Esports, well, they lost their first game, and then they didn't kind of play the next one, and just, yeah, so not much to say for them. But yeah, so this has left us with the two remaining teams. And Windranger, tell us about who's playing.
Probably going to be Team Windranger, because I mean, I've seen players play Windranger, but I think they're going to pick a little bit more of a actual, like, I don't know. It could be a player's Windranger, but I think just something about it tells me that it's a Team Windranger. And Donnie on the Timbersaw, that's a signature hero. And then it's Ferrari or Habibi on Tree Lich. They've swapped it around. I mean, Ferrari normally plays the Lich, but sometimes with Tree Lich, we've seen it swap around with Habibi playing the Lich. So versatile supports are both able to play that. And we think for the side of Infused that Jakira is going to be in the mid lane.
Yeah. It's going to be...
Yeah, offlane Nature's Prophet and safe lane Mirana Witch Doctor, but maybe another aggressive hero forming aggressive tri lane.
For Bravado, I think the last pick for players is actually going to be the Wraith King again. I think that kind of fits what they want to do here. Which fighting early on gives them a good hero that's very good at fighting under their own towers, and they already have a fair amount of anti-push now after having picked up consecutively the Timbersaw and the Windranger. So I think that's probably what they're going to be looking towards now. And yeah, well, after the CM pick, it's very obvious that the Jakiro is going mid, and I don't think Windranger is going to have too much difficulty with it. Well, I don't know.
A little bit better time than Doom, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Rest in peace, Wazmak.
Rip and pepperonis, sweet prince.
I mean, the thing is though that like Windranger still takes a lot of damage from dots. Like Windranger is a very difficult hero to kill, but Jakiro doesn't necessarily want to make kills. He just wants to slowly whittle you down until you can't deal with it anymore. But I don't know. Windranger also has a much better attack animation, and it's going to do a little bit better with a bottle, I think. So I think it's going to be a relatively even matchup. And without Jakiro crushing the middle lane like he did against the Doom, I think that it's going to be less of a snowball effect for a Jakiro.
So one thing that also, like, I think that Infused have missed, or they just can't work out. Okay, so Wong
Bravado, they just got manly.
So one thing that you have to kind of notice is just that Donnie's got Timbersaw, and he pretty much only plays Timbersaw. Like, of the players on his side, it's either him or Seam, and Seam doesn't have a huge preference for Timbersaw. So what this means is that they lost banned outs on the Slark, and that's a hero that also, like, is primarily a Donnie hero, although Seam sometimes plays it. So it's just a little bit, like, if these teams played it 1,001 times, who would win? I think that with more and more games coming forward, as the teams suss each other out more and more, there would be a little bit more optimal drafting, as you would expect, but optimal drafting, like a last ban on what you were suggesting in the Scene hero, like it could be, or the Flares hero being the Wraith King. Like, Axe is a very, very good counter push hero.
Yeah, guys, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. I'm gonna start the intros before it looks like we might get some aggressive early plays. You never know what to expect of these two teams. Bravado Emotion versus Infused. We're gonna go through the Bravado guys. Habibi on Lich. We got Donnie playing his Timbersaw in mid. It's gonna be Seam with the Windranger. Ferrari on the Treant, and we're gonna have Flares picking up the Axe. Sitting with the UK players, Richie is indeed going to be picking up Mirana, a good change of site instead of Flares having it out. Elia with her typical Witch Doctor. We've got Cook on the Crystal Maiden. Tyrock's going to be playing mid with Jakiro, followed by Tone, looking for better luck in the top lane. But this time, instead of Batrider, he's playing Nature's Prophet. So, game has started, guys, and this is the second game of the best of 5. This could allow the Infused players to tie the round up or push Bravado Emotion onto match point. So the UK guys got to be very, very careful.
Dude, before there's any action, zoom out very, very far and look at Flares. Look how big the axe is in his hand.
Oh.
Look at it.
Oh my god.
It is like
you can see-
ginormous.
It's like the Great Wall of China or something, but axe.
It is
shape.
the corruptor, and it's going to corrupt, I think. But one thing to notice is that also, like, against the Pugna, it's a very, very hard hero to be able to say, I'm going to go blink in and ulti and do stuff and kill things. Like Tide Hunter, for example, would fit the role.
Mm-hmm.
And Axe is another hero that can very, very easily do that. But also as a natural blade mail carrier, gets spins off. So even though when he's getting brought down in melee range, he's going to be doing damage. Although...
5 ranged heroes, melee range.
Yeah. Well, I mean, melee range doesn't necessarily mean that you're fighting them like they're punching you at their maximum range. In this case, if he gets a blink call, they're gonna, they've got no decision. They're gonna just take huge damage. It's gonna be able to pick off the Windrunner and the Witch Doctor very, very easily.
I'm wondering if Seam's Windranger is going to be as impressive as Gron's. Like, if Seam can hit over 90% success rate with the shackles, then hell yeah, because Gron for me has been the most impressive this tournament on that hero.
Yeah,
Grun's actually got the record in the A2 DL, I think it's called, one of the amateur Dota 2 leagues, where he's got like over 1,000 GPM in one of the games.
Sick. I think Gron's watching. I saw him lurking in chat. He's,
so that's why you're plugging the shout out there. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Also, because Windranger's picked, man. I can't forget that Gron Windranger. Like seriously, with or without Gron in chat, that Windranger was undeniably sexy.
It was, and I definitely was impressed by Gron's Windranger. There's no doubt about that. Although Seam's Windranger, it's going to be a lot different than Gron's. Like Gron, well, first of all, he actually needed to like carry his team in 2 regards. 1, he had to hit all those shackles to give his team a chance, and 2, he actually had to do the physical damage. Seam doesn't really need to do either of those things as much, because Donnie's going to provide more than enough damage, and it's less about the shackles for Seam this game than it is just about the power shot keeping Infused back. So, yeah, I mean, it's significant, Gron's Windranger, but this will kind of be a different one, and I don't think it's fair to put Seam up to that standard, just because even though Seam's a good player, Gron just played magnificently. But the other thing that's a lot different this game than another matchup before arrow bottom. Yeah, Donnie's going down.
Donnie, your game's been so good, and is it about to drop right now? 2 hits, but they can't get the last one, and there's the salve healing him right up again. And Flash is just pushing the top lane really hard, just really wants Tone to get the hell out. And whereas there was Habibi, who was sitting in mid for a little bit, chilling with the Lich, but there's been some really nice sentry placements. Who's been placed there? It's been Cook sitting on the CM with it.
But yeah, so getting down to wow, shout out from an in-game player, Habibi, making it big. The big difference for Donnie this game though is that he's up against a ranged carry, like not just as the game progresses, but also like right now. Like this makes it a lot harder for him to actually dominate the lane like he did against the anti-mage, because obviously he can't really get off a Whirling Death, which is going to hit creeps and hit the Mirana. So
And Witch Doctor's also there to give good sustainability to Infuse, like being able to be harassed out. Like the anti-mage just had a ring of regen in that game that you're referring to, and it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for the aim to be able to go forward and tank harass.
But the other thing, though, is that the supports this time are actually much more killable, I would say. Even though Witch Doctor is a little bit stronger of a support and has 305 movement speed, they don't have the Veno Gale, which is very good at keeping the Timbersaw away until he has level 6. They've got 2 supports, both of which, unless Timbersaw is right next to something, he's going to get bounced. He's generally going to be able to chase after them very easily.
Ooh, some action here in the bot lane is Donnie trying to find support, but also trying to just get out. The costs can be quite annoying. Here comes an arrow. Gonna just get juked by Donnie.
Yeah, he didn't fight forward enough, so Donnie didn't really have to dodge, he just had to keep moving. And it was absolutely fine.
And another smart thing by Infused, actually, they did pick up Boots first on the Crystal Maiden, which I think is excellent, because if not, she would have gotten punished quite hard by the Timbersaw, like especially in that situation there, where she was really close to him. I imagine he saw that she did have Boots, because if she didn't, he probably would have chased her when she ran up, and I don't think she would have been able to get away. He would have just done too much damage, but the Boots made it easy for her to keep her distance, so that's really smart from Infused. And this CM is actually already level, which is huge. Actually, if we take a look at the hero levels, I mean that. Well, actually, all their supports are level 4, so they've gotten some really good experience. Whereas, like a Lich, like Lich is known for giving lots of experience to supports, and
Yeah,
they
but
actually have less.
The Lich ran middle with an Invis rune to try to get a pick off on Tarox, and yeah, basically the Sentry Ward came down, and there was nothing that could be done.
This is a much nicer start for Infused, though, than last time. Considerably nicer. No, it's 0-0 so far, but they mitigated any chance of like a gank or anything like that happening. Donnie
But
coming
have a
in.
look at the last
annoying.
hits. Look at the last hits board. You'll see Bravado.
Oh,
quite an
hold on, we
advantage.
might get a kill down bottom. Donnie trying to get out there. Habibi gonna try support. Oh, Richie misses the arrow. The Starlight only falls down onto Habibi, so actually both of the players are gonna be able to get away. The South Africans are holding off here on their hard lane.
I'd even give a tank. I mean, Habibi's really, really poor. He needs to get boots up, but he can also afford to give one tango to Donnie here.
But Noxel's absolutely right. I mean, the last hits do tell the tale. However, the one thing for Seam is that as the Jakiro, Treant, touch knife.
Tree.
Oh god. This could be a kill. I'm surprised that... oh, Seam's actually really weak, so Shackle would have been very difficult, but that is a very nice power shot. We're going to be getting... Oh, it even goes onto the tree. Is Ferrari going to take the last hit? He will. The Treant gets some love in there with the first kill onto Tyrox. And very uncharacteristic of Tyrox. He usually plays a very strong mid lane, although I guess he didn't realize that the Treant was racing him to the haste.
And I guess it's also just testament to the fact that Tree has boots as well. Like, sometimes at 7 minutes the supports are just so poor because they've just been doing so much pulling and stacking that they... Well, one of them has done most of the pulling and stacking, one hasn't.
Uh-oh, Flares. Gonna get out, he's gonna go for a TP. Can he make it?
Yeah.
Wait, no ice path?
It's pretty stock standard on the
Okay.
mid-Jakiro build.
His standard on a mid-Jakiro build. There's
Well-
a standard mid-Jakiro?
So the Eternal Envy praise EE Sama. He has a mid-standard build. And
When he plays it, it's safe lane Jakiro, not mid.
he's played a mid once.
Oh, okay, so how is that standard then?
Because it's standard EE Sama. Everything that EE Sama does is stock standard.
Okay.
It's the way you meant to play
Oh.
Dodo. Arrow in the bot lane, Donnie taking a lot of damage, but this tree armor is just so pesky, especially on a hero that like Timbersaw, which is already very, very hard to lock down, and you want to burst him because otherwise the reactive armor just kicks in.
There's no way that Richie and Elliot can even dive onto the tower. They're just so squishy.
They need to get off like a level 3 or 4 Maledict, I think, if they want to be able to bring down Donnie. Richie's farming pretty well, catching up. But Donnie's 6'9", he's got arcane boots, so...
Gonna get the arrow. It's gonna hit. This is gonna be Donnie going down.
Oh.
First kill incoming. Habibi
Classic.
trying to do some damage, but he's not level 6. Only just hit level 5. Donnie
Classic
feeding.
Knoxville, discussing how hard it's going to be to kill Donnie, and then Donnie feeds.
Yep, Donnie, you've been so good, but now you suck. And the UK guys are starting to pull through. They just need to shake up the gold advantage a little bit. Arrow comes in. Flares is sitting there with his axe, but
Yeah.
nothing for him to be concerned about. Oh no, this is gonna hit. The flos's gonna go over, but we are gonna get the Berserker's call, and that is gonna be Cook hitting the ground. Donnie's coming back in. He is absolutely mad that he went down just there and looking for an avenge kill. And what just happened? Oh, Prophet Tone TP'd in. Oh, Seam
does get
managed
the
to get
shackle.
it.
Yeah, no detection though, so he's just gonna walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, even though Seam was winning mid CS wise, which I expect with the winner is much better attack animation, Jakiro as he gained levels makes the lane harder and harder with higher levels of liquid fire, and he's actually already taken the tower now. Seam did get a good deny off on it, but I mean that's still pretty significant to have already taken the mid tower in a 1 versus 1 matchup with absolutely no rotations, and that is what the Jakiro does. The bad news is that Jakiro is still really far away from his mech, which unless wait, maybe pieces coming out on the courier? No, yeah, so just magic one stuff. So yeah, he's still very far from his mech, which is a bit of a shame because like that's one of the strengths of the Jakiro mid is that you're going to get that mech very early. But they're going to continue pushing with this, and let's see if Bravado Emo can respond to this a little bit better, or deal with this, I should say, a little bit better than Bravado Blue
Amelia's
did.
blink. There's like the blink imminent on its way to Flares. Yep, there it is, just been bought. So this
If he
is
can
going to
get,
be nice.
he needs a TP scroll as well though before he sends us out. Yeah.
Another arrow onto Donny. Is this enough though to justify pushing in? There's support looking on the side. Habibi still hasn't got the level 6. The stun wears off and Donny's just fine, but this is going to be a second tier 1 falling here for the South Africans. And they are feeling the heat so much more. UK guys playing really well at the moment.
Player's gonna get a blink call on 3. There's gonna be a lot of damage coming forward here. One dunk. Oh, not even gonna be a dunk. Player's dunking a creep.
For that extra movement speed, is going to be able to get away, and that is going to be Tyrox falling. Shikura dies for the second time now. The South African players are pretty weak, but we got another blink into Berserker's call. Richie, oh, he gets shackled, but it's actually enough for them to all group around him and get a kill. Tone, whoa, that animation. Okay.
So that was a pretty good fight. Something that is otherwise very hard to do against the lineup that's pushing down your towers, getting gold on their supports and their cores. And the Corrupt just secured another kill there and got some assists.
Yeah, but they still lose the tower, and Infused not missing a beat, being 3 heroes top. These other two have smoked, I guess just to move across the map safely since they're supports, because it's not like they're really going to get a gank off the 2 of them. Maybe if Witch Doctor had level 6, but actually they're going to run into this Lich.
Oh, it's only Habibi, but we've got Donny who's just around the side. That's going to be Chakram, and he's going to be able to push in. That's an easy frag there onto Cook.
A little bit of a waste. Oh, there's some action
top.
top. Donny trying to make a play on Tyrox here.
Oh, he can't get the dunk there onto Tyrox. And there's going to be a little bit of a chase onto Seam. Was that the drums? Do they have drums now? Or am I just misreading?
No,
the
it was.
image?
I think the mech buckler effect being
Oh
used.
yeah, okay. I didn't hear that the
Oh,
percussion.
Shackle going off onto Tone here. A little bit of damage coming forward. Arrow going to hit on Seam. The tree
Seam.
going to give him something, but not enough.
And here comes Donny, but it's a bit too much for him to handle. 1 versus 4, no chance, buddy. And Habibi, well, last time I looked at Habibi, he was only level 5, but now there's definitely good chances for him to maybe
Blaze
get a
is
Chain
back.
Frost.
Yeah, he's already used Chain Frost when they made that nice kill. Crystal made it.
Oh wow, so that would have been much more useful to keep for now, actually.
Arrow going to whiff. But they're going to have like their wombo combo up and ready in a few minutes. I think Flares just wants one tanking item. It looks like he's going for pipe in this match. It's early cloak, but it could also just be a casual cloak and vitality booster. Notice how he keeps the tranquil boots on the ground so that they don't break. Max regen straight away.
So, I mean, they've gotten 3 tier 1 towers, which is like what Infused want to be doing. They've got the mech up now on the Jakiro.
They're taking the gold graph back to 0.
Pretty big, yeah.
That's
I mean,
nice, that's
obviously,
really
when
nice.
you're pushing like this, the experience graph is going to go usually the opposite direction the gold graph goes. Although they've actually brought it up a little bit with those kills. Specifically the one on Seam, who's very high level and giving up big. Seam getting baited in a little bit. I think that was kind of a not an excellent decision from Seam, to be perfectly honest. Like, even with that shackle plus power shot and a couple hits, he still wasn't going to be very likely to kill the Prophet, and he knew the rest of his team was behind him. Like I said, this game, it's not about the shackles for me. It's much more important just that he's able to power shot buy time for his team, along with Donnie throwing out the chakram. So, a little bit unfortunate that he did that, but they're still going to be alright. I mean, they still definitely can defend this, and like you said, the Lich Ultimate will be back up. It's very important, actually, for Lich to get level 8 as well, so that he can throw down Ice Armor on these towers, or Frost Armor. Ice Armor, actually, got it right. And that'll kind of make it a little bit more difficult for him down, although obviously the burn going to go right through.
So by the way, these just happen to be I just consulted our stats man for the game, also known as Chosen One from Bravado Blue, and he said this is the exact 5 same heroes that they picked against Bravado Blue.
Oh wow. And they had a
Just,
lot of success with them.
But this was the game 2 draft, I think, that they went for.
Yeah, then they won that very convincingly. That was like a 20-minute, around that kind of marker, give or take 5 minutes.
Casual Nova coming in on the side here.
This
Blaze,
is gonna be a fight to
Blaze
commit.
goes in, gets a nice blink.
Then he gets the
Tyrox is
blink,
quite
but he
far.
doesn't hit anything with the Berserker's Call, and now he's thinking twice about it. But the Chain Frost comes in, Habibi manages to secure a kill on Elia, and we have got a shackle that's going to land on Tyrox. Donnie going to try and assist with the kill. Is this going to be enough? Ferrari also coming in with the right clicks. but it is actually going to be Seam who finishes off the kill. Donnie, on hardly any health whatsoever, manages to survive for now, but I think they're still going to lose a load of core heroes. This has been pretty bad for Bravado. UK guys, oh, they've just been dropping down like flies at the moment, but it might be 5 to wipe. Seam running away, that wind run is going to save him.
Not just any wind run, but actually the change to wind run, where projectiles which are already in the air actually get dodged by wind running, whereas the old wind run, actually he would have still died there. So very happy about that himself. But yeah, a really good fight for Infused, actually.
What was the trade?
Despite not getting the tower, they brought it quite low and almost team-like Bravado.
Was that 3 for 5 or something like that?
3 for 4.
3 for 4, okay. 3
Yeah.
for 4.
Because I think there was a 1 kill advantage still for Bravado when they went into it.
Yeah, that seems likely. Well, they lost the Jakiro, they didn't lose the CM, they lost the Witch Doctor, and they lost the Fury.
Oh,
Yeah, so
but
3
they're
for
going to
5.
lose someone here. No, they're not. Flares.
Flares, what are you doing? Berserker's Call just really failing at the moment. Giving nice little ice pass from Tyrox, but Shackle hits nothing but thin air, and now we've got another Berserker's Call. This time the Bravado guys are around, and then Tyrox, you have overstepped the line. We've got another TP up. Donnie making his moves as well. We've got a defensive arrow being sent out, and those casks are gonna buy a little bit of time for Infused.
Yeah, I think Donnie might, like, in another game, in another series, the real life of Donnie would have just gone YOLO there and just dived down the tower.
What are you... Okay, that was...
He's trying to catch the Invisium.
Yeah. He was just fishing then. Okay, he wasn't actually looking for targets that were visible and just hitting nothing. Oh my god. South Africans making mistakes are making me happy.
They saw the... oh, are they going to get this? Oh, that's so painful.
Oh, the
yeah,
arrow!
Actually mid.
Some action mid on Seam. Seam going to get ice powered up here. Flair's looking for an opening. He can maybe get 2 if his positioning is good here. Tree going to throw it on his ulti.
Couldn't shackle with the single tree, and there's just a little bit of damage there from the emotion players, and they're just both teams going to break away from the fight. Happy that neither of them lost an additional player.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what I was saying is painful was the Radiant actually had an OBS, which was down with where Sentry had already been for Bravado Emo, but it actually ran out. It got hit twice, but 6 health left, so they actually going to need to just avoid that spot or use another Sentry to finish that off, which kind of sucks a little bit, but, well, tough breaks. Seam going for a Force Staff, actually.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but no mech for his team. I mean, I guess the way they want to play defensively, maybe the Force Staff is just going to be more important than the mech, although typically there's going to be a lot of fighting with these sort of lineups, so I would think a mech would be what you want. Maybe Donnie will be the one to pick it up since he's 1600.
Oh, arrow going to hit on Ferrari here. Very important
like
hero, but they're just going to leave him there and they're going to go for the tower.
There's not much time. Ferrari's coming in again. He's got overgrowth up in 5 seconds, so that shouldn't be a problem. The emotion guys, they're just trying to rattle off the attack at the moment. This is something they're going to have to be putting up with for probably an extended duration of time. And they need to get a good fight in their way so that they can push some more tier 1s. We've got Arrow coming in again. There's the dodge. Ferrari this time not sitting quite so still.
Oh, and then a very, very ambitious shackle over there by Seam. They're going in on a BB. They can't do anything. He throws down a chain cross. It's going to bounce a few times here. And Flair's going to go and get 1 dunk.
Dunk! Not this time.
Gets a nice ulti off.
Oh, nicely done, Ferrari. Just completely immobilizing all of the UK heroes. There's we've got a Berserker's Call coming in. That's going to be Elia falling. Only Habibi has gone down for the South Africans. Tyrox now. He's going to drop. That's another dunk in the bag. 4 for 1 over here. And now it's looking more and more realistic that they're able to push this mid lane.
That's got Donnie, like, pretty close to finishing off, like, his next item, Bloodstone, if he goes for the greedy build, you know, as in breaking the arcane boots. As Scan said last night, he's not a big fan of it. If the game's going well, he'd really like to keep that. But as a push strat, you really don't want to be losing towers if you can avoid it. Oh, a nice arrow coming in here on Flares. There's been a leech seed. He's just picked up Blade Mail. This could be maybe a good opening. He throws down the Blade Mail, does a call, and there's a lot of damage coming out onto him.
He's weak, he's really weak. Ferrari just trying to block a little bit, but we have got the Sprout Stack coming in, and that's a nice pickup here. Richie gets the bounty. Arrow's gonna hit a creep, but Ferrari, Nature's guys, nope, hasn't got that. Just trying to survive a little bit with the ice armor.
Yeah. Not gonna be enough.
Nice return fight there from the UK guys, keeping it real here. for survival.
Team picks up a tower in the
in
bot
England
lane,
and
though.
Wales.
And he's finished up his 4-staff as well.
Yeah, he had it at that fight at the mid tier
Oh, did
too.
he?
I mean,
Did he?
he tried 4-stepping forward in order to get the shackle, but yeah, it's actually. I mean, the MVP of that fight of the tier 2 tower for Bravado was actually the Lich ultimate. Habibi managing to get it off before he died. The fact that it just like, I mean, it didn't do a ton of damage. Like as you said, it bounced a couple times. I think it got about 3 hits, but it just separated the Infused lineup. And Infused, it's like a 5-man death ball, and when they get separated, it's when they're weak. So
Very important fight happening here at the Rush Pit. Team is trying to scout it out a little bit from behind. And the Mirana ulti, they look like they want to engage here. I don't know if there's any true sight. There's no true sight on the high ground here. They're going to throw one of their only dusts. And they're just playing casually, just getting back. There's no actual static true sight here, like a gem or sentries. I think that would be a good pickup here. Nako would definitely approve, but early gem can have such huge value, such worth.
Much value.
The risk, the thing is though, like, I mean, I don't know, I guess you would give it to the Wind Ranger now that she has a 4-staff. She's relatively safe with it, but when you're having to fight so often, picking up a huge gem can also be a really big liability. Like, early gems, it's more typical in farming matches where you know that you're going to have the opportunity to deward the map and where vision matters a lot.
Yeah.
Here, vision doesn't really matter that much because you're typically going to know where infused heroes are going to be. Like, there are going to be 5 of them, they're going to be standing in one of your lanes.
Well,
so
the possibility for Mirana, like, getting a good ulti in and then making that the setup is, like, pretty huge,
counter
too.
that with sentries, though.
Guys, while we've got a bit of a break in the action, just want to give another quick call out, guys. Do show some love and support to the Bravado Gaming people. Facebook.com/Bravado Gaming. There's a post on there with instructions on how to win a Razor Abyssus. All you got to do is guess the kill score for each team on the last game of this best of 5, and you could be in a chance to win that Razor Abyssus. Do give them some love. They provided this for the tournament. They've put up the prize money. They put up all the giveaways, and really, if they get a win here today, then they're definitely going to be a team that these UK players and other European players are going to have to watch out for in the future. Anyway, back to the action, guys.
Yeah, most of this team actually went to ESWC last year, where they got knocked out by losing to EG and 4FC, I think, were the two big games that they lost. That was when they were under the Energy Esports type team. It was the 3 same cause, Donny, Seaman, Flares, and recent acquisitions of Mr. Assman and Ferrari 458. But yeah, let's have a look at the gold graph because we haven't actually seen that for a while. It's only 1,000 towards Bravado Emotion, which is something that, well, I mean, Bravado are generally excellent farmers, and in all of their calls are very, very good farmers. I would say above average.
Above average? What's average? Am I above average?
I mean, no. You are way below average. But Hari wouldn't flame them for their farm. That's how good they are.
Whoa.
And that is a high standard right there. And
watch out for
well,
Hari.
when you play
At
with
the
King,
moment-
you can flame a lot of people for their farm. But yeah,
and at the moment, I mean, they're only 1,000 gold ahead. They really at this stage used to being a lot more in the games that they win. And check this out, Hari. No Bloodstone by Timbersaw. He's decided to go Blink Dagger. So hashtag initiation coming out here.
Ooh. I think Bloodstone's still on the books there for the not too distant future. Hopefully for Donny at least.
I think so too. He just wants more mobility so he doesn't get picked off.
Yeah,
Tyrok's
he's actually had a rough
blitzing
time.
around here.
2 deaths. Yeah. I think that's almost as many deaths as he's had in the last 4 games or something like that. Oh, hold on. There's going to be possibly initiation here. I'm going to be following Axe point of view as he might want to jump in. He's going to look for a more successful Berserker call than he's had recently. Invis units, they've been... they spotted flares.
Yeah, but they also came out of smoke, so they knew that there was someone there.
Mm-hmm. They just don't know where.
And Flares has got a Vitality booster up. He's well on his way to, I think, being the... getting one big call could, completely win the fight for him. And one big call with the Lich ulti is, devastating.
Tone's looking good with Necro 3, actually. He just picked it up, so this is a big difference to his Batrider game, last game, which, well, just went horribly. Arrow dodge. Guys, I'm literally just sitting on the edge of my seat at the moment, so I feel like there's going to be either a huge engagement or not much, and just retreat from the Bravado players. But they look poised.
Nice positioning over here. The Crystal Maiden in a very, very aggressive position, actually.
Yeah.
The arrows mean, it's pretty much run kitty run here. Everyone's just trying to dodge the arrows. Crystal Maiden gets a Nova on the side. They must realize that Crystal Maiden's up there, but they don't care. They're going straight for the tower.
Objective gaming.
Focus fire being used.
2-1 mid. Actually,
Ooh,
Crystal
and,
Maiden's just backed off. I think they're giving it away. It looks like actually the Infused guys don't seem that comfortable in this fight. Arrow comes out. That range creep gonna die. And then all of a sudden, Donnie blinks in. I don't know if they had given that away just yet. Ice Path is going to be on the Timbersaw. And just a one-hit wonder for Frost Chain. Oh god.
And
Cook.
Crystal Maiden just blew up there. Here comes the tree ulti. I think they're going to use this to try escape. If Eevee's getting caught out, one hit, 2 hits, he's going to die. And that was a Tree and Protector and a Lich that died just for the Crystal Maiden.
RIP
The Causal
supports.
got out. Yeah, and top also got defended by Seam. So once Tree comes alive, he's going to be able to heal this tower up a lot.
They got the tower too, so it ended up being good. Although that was actually, I mean, like, it wasn't actually good because Donnie pretty well. All right, either way, like either Donnie or Flares made a mistake there because Flares blinked out, and then right after Flares blinked out, Donnie blinked in. So it's just a big miscommunication. Like Donnie wants to go, Flares thinks we should back after taking the tower because multiple people are low and Seam's already TP out. And I'm inclined to believe that Flares had the right call there. Like, I don't think you want to force fight 4 versus 5 when you're trying to hold on to a game, which you know
There was
you kind
a
of have
really good opening though, like 3 heroes clustered together. If they
It
went
was just
to
2
there-
heroes.
Are you sure? I think.
Positive.
Okay. Hashtag Hari, can't argue.
I think the South Africans, despite pushing a bit and trying to make us, I think they're crumbling a little bit. I think we're losing the Bravado emotion buzz that we've got over the last 3 games that we've seen from them.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean,
UK
when you're
gaming
in
looking
a, look at the lineup that the Radiants have. It's like a very push lineup.
Res,
Like if you
secured,
repel that,
but infused
like
players.
Lich is pretty strong going into the late game. The Axe is going to do huge damage like throughout the game because the supports are always going to be able to get picked off. The Mirana is. What do you think the best carry in this game as such is? I mean, probably the Mirana, right? But Timbersword has Furion and Mirana, but Timbersword has a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
The Wind Ranger is going to do so much damage in team fights, and Lich ulti is always relevant.
I feel like the game has to end early though. I don't feel like anyone's got incredible late game, and no one's really standing ahead in the farm. Nature's Prophet's doing well, Axe is doing a little better. I actually think Infused, if this does go into a 40-50 minute game, I think Infused can take this.
I agree. I think Infused also has the potential to take it, but it really just depends on how well Tone plays at that point. And based on his Bat Rider game, that might be a little bit questionable, but as you pointed out, he has been playing a bit better than this game. That was a nice snipe earlier on the Lich, who was retreating. So, yeah, he definitely has the potential to do it. He's going back to the Maelstrom now, which is fine. I mean, even though so far he has not a lot of attack speed, I guess he has the Midas, but no Truds. It's still going to be a decent item, and it's going to allow him to transition more into the late game and continue to push out. So, yeah, I think Infuse can definitely take it. They have the better split push, and Bravado Emo's catching all relies on the Axe, who's good, but not amazing.
Just big items have been taken, man. Some really big items for Bravado. They've got a heart on their Axe, and they've got the Bloodstone on Donnie. And we've got Necrobook, another Necrobook coming out. Who picked that up? It was Tyrox picked up a Necrobook. We've also already got level 3 one on Tone, and there's also a Maelstrom that came out for. Wait, who the hell took the? Presumably.
The Nature's Prophet bought the Maelstrom. It's being delivered to him.
Okay. Oh yeah. I see it. Ice Path coming in, Flare's gonna be hurting a little bit, but after he's now picked up his heart, he is gonna be taking so much damage. We have got a sentry taken down. Donnie's gonna be blinking in over here. He might have stepped a little far out because his teammates are backing off faster and faster. And Donnie being forced off the way. Chain Froster is only gonna be hitting the creeps, but that's gonna be helpful. And yeah, actually, Infused successfully pushed them away. Arrow into the air.
Yeah, they did use their ulti, and they blew Macropie, which doesn't have a long cooldown. But fair enough. Moonlight Shadow's been used. I think that Bravado know that they're going to go rush now, and they're going to try to fight this as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah,
no
might go
TP
down
scroll on
fast.
team.
Ooh, yeah, that's a little bit rough, but I mean, Seam kind of went forced top. They didn't want to lose that tower. The
This is
Aegis
a horrible fight, though. This is going to be a horrible fight if they get caught in the pits.
Yeah, especially with Timbersaw from the high ground.
They're just waiting for Seam to get a little bit closer before they go in. Or are they? Ferrari running towards the front.
Oh.
Here comes the big ulti, and Tyrox taking so much damage. He gets off a mech, but
Dunk.
he's just going to be left to the wolves. Maybe Seam can get a something here. No, I don't know. He's already used Shackle Shot, rather.
I don't know why Infused went for the rush though. They didn't actually kill anybody, and they didn't have to wait for long to. The Bravado guys didn't have to wait long to regen and re-engage. I felt like it was like a really obvious decision. And maybe a smoke and a flank would have actually served the Brits a little better.
Nature's Prophet going for the split push top, so this means Infused has given up the fight.
But
So rush is now a very relevant thing, despite the fact that both sides are like push lineups. Rush
Arrow.
has become something. Arrow's going to come in, doesn't snipe it though. Wind Ranger picks it up.
well, they're not
Is-
going to be able to take the T2 up at top. They're going to defend, and it's going to be Donnie chasing down. He's got the chakram. There's a teleport, but there's no way for him to actually stop him. Just trying to get a bit of extra damage.
Until you get to Sheepstick, that's going to be like the story of the game.
Yeah. I needed
This
a
ti-
seam there or something like that, or flares.
The tower got healed up quite nicely. Takes a bit of chip damage, going to get healed up again. Arrow. I like the fact that there's been a lot of arrows thrown by Richie, even ones that like, you know, are like 1 in 5, 1 in 10 shots, because there have been some 1 in 10 shots that have connected and made kills.
He's just scouting for a little bit of vision, just trying to get some extra intel for his teammates. They don't have any wards over the dire side of the river. So Richie's just being useful.
So
Yeah, I mean, there just hasn't been a chance for Infused to get aggressive towards her.
I wanted to ask actually, do you think that the Wind Ranger is the best choice for the Aegis? Like, I guess she's the more, well, not even necessarily more damage. I mean, she has the mech, which is more or less, I guess, the best argument, and she's kind of like the core of Bravado's lineup. But at the
And
same
probably going
time,
to be a
like,
Sheepstick carrier. So.
yeah, I mean, soon enough, I suppose. But
Why not
like at the
Donnie?
same time, Timbersaw is actually most of their damage and is the one who's most likely to die. And similarly, Axe very likely to die. Although I think Axe would probably be the worst
Okay,
choice.
but Timbersaw has Bloodstone and is in most fights going to be back very, very quickly. Because it gets reduced by 4 seconds, so at the
He
moment
doesn't
if
have
he
that many
dies,
charges though. It's not that many
It's still-
charges at the moment.
he's still going to come back 36 seconds faster than he otherwise would have. What would he be dead for now? About 45 seconds?
No,
I'd say a bit
at
longer.
level 16, he's going to be dead for about
A minute.
60 to 70
60?
seconds. So
60
yeah,
seconds? Okay, so he's going to be back in half the time.
but I mean that's still 20 to 30 seconds. So that
But
I mean, that's,
Bloodstone doesn't proc if you die. Like if you die to Aegis, it doesn't give you the benefits of the Bloodstone, which is quite considerable as well.
that's true.
Elia's smoked up for something. Any scouting down on the bottom. Seam the Aegis carrier, but actually she's just she's not going to be flanking with anyone. She's just putting up a little ward herself. And up in
She
mid,
actually would have been seen there because there were 2 wards that would have scouts it.
yeah. So the information is around. We've got a little bit of a stun there onto Donnie, but nothing threatening at the moment. This tier 1, 33 minutes is still up. We've got a Berserker's call in. Is that going to be Cook going down? We got
Yeah,
a
it is.
dunk there from Axe. Habibi.
And
Oh, that's the
gonna
neck.
get healed up. Oh, nice shackle shot attempt over there by Seam, but not good enough.
Yeah, that was very close, but they might be able to get this tier 1, and this is just extra gold in the bank now for the South Africans. And we've got a bit of a chase down at bottom. It's actually just Ferrari saying hello. They want to get the kill on Tone. They know that he's farmed, and they know that this is going to be very useful now for them to continue on their push without worried about split push from the UK players.
And now Ferrari's got a blink dagger. Like this is go time. BBD are in control for the first time in a short while. Tone has to buy back. I think BBD just take this tower and back. They're all
They
quite
might not
low on
even
mana.
go for it.
Yeah, that's also fine.
Tone doesn't even have his Necro book though. Like he doesn't really do anything other than an ultimate at this point. Since his Maelstrom doesn't really have enough attack speed to proc that frequently, and he's also very vulnerable if he's in range attacking with that at this point.
Guys,
The classic fake energy back is happening.
we might
And
have
Tone TPing top. He doesn't have a TP
re-engage.
scroll.
Yeah, but let's hold on for a second because Flares, I think, is looking for a fight. Tone TPing away might be very, very good. Flares moving in. He's going to go Berserker's Call onto a whole bunch of...
I think he wants to dunk the courier.
I thought it was Berserker's calling the courier, which is unusual.
This courier is going on like a little bit of a mission here.
Flez is there. Can he get there in time? The
Yeah.
TP is going to be coming out, but there's nothing to do.
No.
Flez is just simply too slow at this point.
Actually done his. I mean, he's been very good this game at dunking creeps to get movement speed. He could have dunked a creep and maybe got movement speed to get there in time, but I don't know. It would have been pretty close either way. I'm not sure if it would have been faster to do that. But...
MKB just being bought by Seam, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say the deeps is coming. I mean, they realized that they were lacking physical damage. They got good lockdown. They got good magical damage. Now they got the physical damage to match.
I think this is going to change things up quite a lot, actually.
there's
Seam,
the
I
gem
feel
coming
like's
out.
not been super useful, other than like the stuns here and there, and a tiny bit of burst damage. But I think this is going to make the big team fights, especially now that he's still got the Aegis.
And
I'm slightly concerned for the UK players at the moment, but they've been holding strong for this last half an hour. And it's time to make a stand, Infused.
Blazer's got Aghanims on the axe. And Tyrox has really also like not really got very many items at the moment. Look, as a solo mid player, he's sitting at number 6 on the chart. Normally you
30
would see
seconds for
him
Aegis.
at somewhere between like 1 to 5, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
And Seam
the
does a lot
three
of damage right
cores-
now.
The 3 cores right now for Bravado are actually like really far ahead. That like their supports are miles behind Habibi, and Ferrari's like so poor right now. Give me some pocket money, but you know what? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, this Aegis is going to proc in just a few seconds, and Seam's going to get full mana, throwing a power shot off and regenning up to full. So they know that Aegis is off. Fighting now is perhaps a little bit risky. Arrow on flares. What are we going to see happen here?
He's got like a million health though. They can't take him down.
And he's also going to have 3 armor because he can never have enough armor.
Oh, and now
Midas
for
on the
first
Crystal
time-
Maiden. Something I haven't actually picked up on the whole game.
Seam! Oh, just puts the power shot the wrong way, trying to go quickly, but won't make it out. I was going to say, the first time this game that actually we're seeing Bravado ahead on objectives. Which is good news for them.
Healing up their bot tower, healing up their top tower is already full.
Yeah, it actually begs the question of whether, well, I mean, the Necrobooks was a good choice, or were a good choice earlier, when they were like 5-man push strategy, all that. But now, like, the Furion Necrobook ratting, it's not really very effective against Tree, just because typically you're going to do it once or twice to take the tree or the tower down, but here, because it's always healed back up, it's not really working out, which after you're so caught.
Uh-oh, Tyrox, you just walked into a Berserker's Call. Ferrari's getting in there for some right-click. We have got mech popping, but that is the slam dunk that is going to get yet another frag here.
He doesn't have buyback, and he's the mech carrier. Like, this,
Yep.
I think for Bravado is, we're going high ground, and we're either going to...
High ground without
we-
creeps?
How many
we-
arrows has Donnie
There's
eaten
no
in this
creeps, they
game?
can't go high ground.
Oh, Tone is doing a good cut here, yeah.
Well, no, even before that, their creeps were all like the Radiant Creep Wave was here without Tone, so they couldn't go high ground even before the Furion came. Like there was no potential for high ground there.
Tone is really putting us back into this game, to be honest. He's really trying to save his team, give them as much space as possible. Him and Richie are at the top of the farm ball, but Donnie's just moving in. Elia, can you survive this? Donnie, that stun's not very long. We got the blink dunk from Flares once again. 10 for 3 this Axis at the moment, and it's funny to see that actually Donnie's not the guy that we're looking out for in Bravado. The rest of the teammates are really stepping up to the challenge.
Well, Donnie had a pretty bad laning stage. I mean, not bad in the sense that he played badly, but just in the sense that he didn't have a lot of potential to either get farm or get kills or anything like that. I mean, against the 3 range, killed him once actually, and had the potential to kill him 1 or 2 more times, or not the potential, but almost killed him. So, I mean, he was pressured quite a bit, and because of that, he hasn't really been able to snowball. And Donnie's a very momentum-based player, so obviously he's had less capacity to actually turn the momentum into a positive game.
Speaking about Donnie, they're trying to make a play on him in the bot lane here.
Oh, nice step away before... Well, actually, Sprouts don't really mean jack for him, but...
But here's Ferrari on the road. And there's a Desolator coming out next on the Marana. They're going to try and make a pick off here.
I'm going to find him. Habibi and Ferrari try to get some love, but there is going to be the arrow there from Richie, but he's just being CC'd down. He needs to step away, and Macropire comes out from Tyrox. but they're all going to step out. BKB has been popped here. Let's pan out the camera and see if there's anything else moving around. Cook actually bought back, and Moonlight shadowed in Tone. Oh, we got an aggressive blink there from Flares. Was to no avail though, and yeah,
So
brutal.
Flares played well. Seen picking up a tower, not even involved in the fight.
Oh god, Berserker's cool again. Ferrari moving in. Whoa, the blink dunk over there. They were not expecting that. Richie was clueless, and I think we're going to be seeing high ground pushed in just a few moments as this lane comes down. Donny has to protect though the mid lane. Are the other players gonna help out? No, actually we've got Seam who's attacking up top.
That was 2 hits and then a dunk from the axe.
Wow, I missed that completely. Flares is just going hyper aggressive at the moment. He hasn't got a whole bunch of mana left.
Well,
Just too tanky.
the reason the Witch Doctor was so easy to dunk, look at the Witch Doctor's items. Like, what? Who is the... I mean, I guess he's building to a pipe at some point, which they considered they needed to go high ground, I guess, to push against the Chakram and the Power Shot, but the pipe does absolutely nothing against the Timber Saw and does nothing against the Axe, so because he has 0 stat items, he just gets dunked in 2 seconds because he has no stat gain.
Seemed his focus fired the top melee racks.
Yeah, so it seems an immaculate job there. And, well, that's not much for them to worry about over there. That lane's going to be pushing tightly for them at the moment. We have got more Necrobooks coming out there from the UK, guys.
Oh, nice arrow leap as well, Ferrari, but Ferrari not going to get caught out. Richie trying to make it back, and good decision over there by himself, just getting back. Yeah, not trying to be greedy and go for the kill. Otherwise the cast would have done so much work.
The UK guys can't, like, die individually for nothing anymore. They've somehow got to do enough damage to take down these players. And I just don't know if it's possible for them to kill Flares at this point. He's just so unbelievably tanky. And I feel like the damage... Tone isn't doing enough damage. That Maelstrom Phase Boot's not going to cut it.
So Donnie's got 16 Bloodstone charges at the moment, and that means pretty much like a 10-second death counter.
Yeah.
Oh, see. Oh, nice dodge over there. 4-star.
Oh, he's got the Hex now too, so he's going to blink in the Hex for this initiation.
There we are, Tyrox, he's going to be going down. We've even got the blink in from Ferrari. Chain Frost going to pull out Richie, stepping away, and during that time Tyrox has just stood there wondering what the hell he can do when his teammates are evacuating the area. And now, the South Africans moving in again. They're looking here for game number 2 victory. Are they going to take down Flesto? He's actually going to die. We have not seen that happen in a long, long time. And I think Donny, he might have gotten over his head a little bit. Oh, Fles has just brought back. And he's got the boots of travel, so he's moving. He is gone mad once again, and Donny has survived that whole encounter. And look at... Was that Habibi or Ferrari, sorry, and like 1 health? Oh my god. GG! It's GG! The UK guys have forfeited this one, and Bravado Emotion are now on match point here in the Bravado Brawl. They are 1 game away from taking home those $400 and the title of South Africa beating UK.
The title of South Africa beating UK. Yeah, that
that's
was a very, very close game for like most of the mid game, and there was like 1 or 2 fights that just got out of control for Infused. I think Tyrox got getting caught out those 2 times before fights began or before objectives got taken. That was pretty huge. But my like bad play or my like turning points, at least in my head, is just that attempted rush by Infused that went south.
Oh yeah, that did go really sour, didn't it? What about you, Harry? What do you think of it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was the kind of lineup we expected from Infused, and